What's up, world? It's Katrina,
And Marlina, and this is Excess Baggage.
the podcast where two friends in their 30s unpack all of life's baggage. This episode, we will be unpacking happiness.
Okay, let's start the show.
Hey, girl, what's your baggage today?
I don't know if I mentioned the last episode that I got into a little fender bender.
No, you did not.
Yeah, this happened like end of June. So we already into another month. Car's still not fixed, but I finally got a rental this week, a couple days ago. And dude, they're like raising my insurance. They're saying that I'm not a good driver anymore. Like my good driver discount, they're like, to qualify for California, you have to have only 1 point on your license, and this is going to make it 2, and blah blah blah. So long story short, they talking about they're upping my insurance an extra $130 per month.
$130.
Yeah, it's not good, man. So all day I've been kind of stressed with that and all that comes with that. I've talked to too many people to count. Just every time I turn around, this department, trying to get quotes for some auto insurance. Yeah, if anybody's listening, if y'all know any good brokers, let me know that don't have fucking broker fees and actually can get you a good rate. I don't know, because in a minute I'm about to have fucking freeway insurance. Okay, I'm about to get like Infinity, some cheap shit that nobody knows the name of in a minute, just to say that I'm covered and just drive like an angel for the next 3 years and pray to God that I can get a better fucking deal, because this is ridiculous. And I might add, it's not even what I said before. It's a fender bender. It's not even like a severe, like total loss accident, like something crazy. I'm telling you,
I don't care. Insurance companies, you can't do anything. You can't do anything.
Shit. They don't care either. Yeah. The insurance people probably hear it all damn day too, because you say, I go, so you're penalizing me, the policy holder or whatever. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yep.
I kept saying, this is ridiculous. And I was saying that, what can I do? And they're just like, well, we can up your deductible. And so then you'll have, instead of $500, it'll be $1,000. I said, bitch, I didn't even want to pay the $500.
Right.
So now if something else happens, like, what? Anyway, so I don't know. That's part of my baggage today. I would think one. And then the two, I have a two-parter, I guess. The second is
lots of baggage today.
Yes, I was taken to a fucking party on Sunday that I didn't want to go to. Might I add, I want to be very, very firm. I didn't want to go to this party. I thought I was meeting up with a couple friends, and I thought we were going to go to a bar, just have a couple drinks, and then go on about my merry business. But then somehow, this person wanted to go to this party and go there. Anyway, it's filled with Gen Z, like straight up Gen Z people. Okay. Like I know it was Gen Z. Let me tell you how I know it was Gen Z. One of our friends' kid sisters was there. So that already tells you our friend or whatever. I don't know. Well, I don't have to say his last name, but Kevin, his baby sister was at this party. So now she's rather young. She's like
7 or 8 years younger than us.
I think she's 21.
Yeah.
And so I saw her, and I was like, as soon as I saw her, I was like, see, I already knew I wasn't supposed to be here. Like,
I'm not supposed to be here.
I'm not supposed to be here. It's nothing, no shade to them, but I was
right. But we're in a different crowd now.
Yeah, it was clear to me. And so there was all these songs being played. I didn't know what the songs were, but everyone else did. There was a bunch of young people everywhere living their best lives, and do you. I was standing next to a table that was buying damn near like every bottle you could think of, Katrina. Like, I understand it's bottle service, but like this is on another level. Like they were buying like the Ace of Spades champagne, which I already know retails probably like in a regular liquor store for like, or not, you don't get that in a regular liquor store, but at a an establishment that sells
Girl,
all the nice
niggas been
booze.
inside.
Dude, those
They
bottles are
have
like
had,
$600. Those bottles
they're
are
outside spending all the
$600 a
money.
piece. A
They've
piece.
probably been saving up the whole COVID.
Saving up what? Shit. What am I doing wrong? Okay. Is this OnlyFans money? What is going on? Because I look at that table and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, two
I can't.
bottles of Ace of Spades. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
counting the bottles. I'm counting the bottles next to it. I'm like, I'm
Girl.
not even like really, I'm just, how you two-step? I'm two-stepping, but I'm low-key counting the fucking bottles that's going to this table. Not that because I wanted some of the alcohol. I just kept thinking, these kids are not going to have any money when this is done. Like they're going to be poor. Just none. Okay. Ace of Spade bottles.
Oh,
They had the Clase
God.
Azul tequila, which is expensive. They had the 1942, not the 1942 tequila, but they were getting the 1.5 liter bottles, so they weren't like the smaller ones. So they were like the
Right.
giant fucking
They was
things.
partying.
Hennessy. I'm like, I even leaned over to one of the girls that was in the crew. I was like, I just kept saying, who's ordering these bottles? What's going on? And she was like, oh, you know how we do. Or she said something along those lines. And I was like, no, I don't.
No, I don't.
I don't.
I don't.
So I don't know. Either I need to get my pocketbook. It needs to fill up. Even if I was balling, dude.
That's not what
like,
you're gonna be spending your money on. It wouldn't matter either way.
No, it wouldn't.
It wouldn't matter either way. Oh gosh. So you ended up at a party you didn't want to be at.
Yes.
And you watched a bunch of kids just buy bottles.
Yeah, buy bottles. I didn't stay all evening. Okay. The couple hours I was there. Okay. I got there early when the party was starting. That's how you know. I was like, okay, nobody's here yet. And then as soon as I saw the crowd coming in, I was like, oh, okay,
it's time to go.
This type of party. And so Wiz Khalifa was there. I don't know if he was like, I don't know. I didn't know anything about this party. I didn't see a flyer for it. I saw something, but I didn't know nothing about no Wiz Khalifa. So apparently he came. And then today I read on fucking B. Scott's blog that Wiz Khalifa test positive for COVID. So now I'm like nervous. I never saw the man, was never around him or anything like that. But I was at the same party he was at. Okay.
Yeah.
He was probably breathing in niggas' air way more than I was because I was standing on the patio area and he was like inside at a table. And I never saw him. That's how many people were surrounded by that particular table. So I never saw him or anything along those lines. Not in my eyesight at least. So yeah. So now I'm like paranoid. And that's my baggage today. Hopefully I feel fine. But, I don't know. People are acting like there was never a pandemic. They're just doing whatever. And LA County just said, yo, we're bringing masks back inside now because y'all fools don't know how to act.
Did they say that officially?
Yes.
Is it official?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's good. We need that.
So I know. I think he tried to he slid that in. I see this governor's little plans and shit. I don't have no plan. I don't have no problem with Gavin Newsom. I really don't. But he slid that shit in because first he told everybody, oh, we got the what did he say? The golden plan or some SoCal golden plan that everybody's going to get a $600 check if you make 75,000. So he slid that in on Tuesday. And then by the next day, either Wednesday or today, then it was like, we're going to have to, LA County votes that you will be wearing your mask indoors again. So I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, here's a little money. Here's a little hush money.
Not hush
and
money.
Hush money. I got y'all on the checks and I got y'all, back pay rent. I'm paying the rent, y'all. He's telling everybody. And you know what? Sorry. Number 3
you got
baggage.
all the baggage today.
Number 3 baggage. I'm like, I'm kind of upset about this whole rent thing. I get it. Like people were struggling. I understand they back rent is going to pay the, the property managers. I guess they're going to get paid by the state. But I'm like,
right.
Why the fuck did I pay rent that entire time? Why?
Right.
I could have been sitting on some money. Is there going to be some incentives for me being
That's what a lot
responsible?
of people were doing, though. Like, that's what a lot of people have done. Not to say that all the people who weren't paying their rent didn't have or had the money to pay the rent. A lot of people didn't. But there are definitely people who could pay rent who've been working this entire time who just haven't because they didn't have to.
Well,
That's what you get for being responsible.
that's what I get for being responsible.
Yeah.
Anyway, Katrina, what's your baggage for today? I got so down, like, damn, man, why did I do
I'm
it?
glad it's you and not me today. Jeez. Normally it's me over here, like, with all the stuff.
Yes.
What is my baggage today? I just thought about it and it made me upset all over again. You know what I did not miss about outside being closed? I did not miss catcalling, niggas making themselves and their presence known very aggressively. Like I miss now that outside is open, just moving about my business, like going to the store or walking to my car and not having niggas yell across the street or honk their cars and yell out the windows. Or I went to go get some food this morning and this guy walks in, didn't even really look at me. I was sitting right by the door. He goes in, he's checking on his order. He sits down, notices that I'm sitting near him, looking up and down several times, and then like kind of aggressively was just like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I was like, "Hey, I'm fine." Went back to being on my phone. And then was like very much in my face the entire time, but never said anything more to me, was just very much looking at me the whole time.
That's weird.
And then when he goes to leave, he's on the phone with a bag of food in his hand, can't even open the door, but made sure to look at me in my face and say, "You have a good day." Well, just go home. Just go home. Like, I wasn't paying you no attention. You weren't paying me no attention when you first walked in. Why are we doing this? Just in one trip to go get some food, I got honked at twice. I got yelled at from across the street twice. And the nigga in the shop was aggressive. And men just, do better. Like, why? Why?
I don't know.
Like, the whole thing was just ridiculous.
It's weird. I do think catcalling is a little weird. I mean, not a little weird. I do think it's weird. Yeah, it's just not. No one wants it. I don't know.
Wants it.
And if someone does,
honking at me and yelling from your window, "Damn, girl!" Like, what? How am I supposed to respond to that? How can you think that that's gonna go over well?
They don't. They just it's impulse control. They have no impulse control. They have no impulse control. Okay. Remember the other day, the last episode when Diana said that we were animals, and I wasn't okay with that label.
Right.
I really do think that she was right. I mean, I still want to be an animal, but I mean, really feel like they have, not all of them, but a lot of them have that testosterone is serious, man. It's a serious thing. And so if they see something, they just, I don't know, some of them revert back to like 7th grade, and they just
That's not even 7th grade, Marlena. That
isn't it? I mean, isn't that? I know. I feel like that's 7th grade when they freaking started realizing they had boners.
Here's why I say it. Some realized before, but
wait, what? Wait, what is
some realized before then?
Okay, wait, yeah, probably before 13. Okay, fine. You're probably right about that. What,
yes.
Like 8?
Right.
I guess 8-year-olds, fine. But the 8-year-olds don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. Are they still on the, like, this is my wee, or they don't know what they're talking about?
Girl, have you met 8-year-olds?
No, I clearly haven't. There's no young kids. There's no young kids in my family. Like when I was young, it was me. Yeah. Okay. And then boom. There's I got like my cousins are like 7 years apart. And I wasn't really around him when he was 8. I don't know what he was doing.
Right. Well, also he's your family, so he might have been in a different space because of how he was raised.
Yeah.
That was weird. And let's be honest, a lot of this is conditioning. A lot of this is how we socialize boys. We teach them that shit is okay. If you teach them that shit is not okay from a younger age, we would have a lot less men doing this shit.
I mean, there's a lot wrong with it.
7th grade? I don't know that in seventh grade. I think a lot of it is just negatives.
Maybe.
It got no sense.
It's true.
And I was very annoyed. And all I really, really wanted, I had a really rough day yesterday. I just wanted some really good breakfast.
Some really good breakfast.
Get breakfast out of my house. And I just wanted it to be good. That's it. By myself, real peaceful. But, what can you do? You go outside. That's what happens when you go outside.
It's true. Because I was walking from my car. Well, I hate downtown LA anyway, but I was walking from my car. We were celebrating my best friend's birthday this past weekend. And this guy, I was just walking. I mean, I did have on heels or whatever, but I didn't look like no streetwalker or nothing. But I had my, he had his window down talking about, where are you going? And, and I just was like, to the hookah lounge, because I just thought it was just so ridiculous that he just said this like so loud and boastful that I was just like, well, I'm going to give him like what like a streetwalker might say. Or, maybe not she wouldn't say the hookah lounge.
Probably didn't even think you were a streetwalker.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
He just wants you to give him some attention. He just wants some attention. That's all niggas want. They just want some attention.
That's okay. We want attention too, but in different ways.
Not like that.
In different ways. That's why I said we want attention too in different ways.
Right. This is not it. This is like, oh gosh. Anyway, so that's part of my baggage today. The other part is I have officially started hiring for my business, and I'm having, I don't like this term, but imposter syndrome about being somebody's boss. So yeah, I'm just moving through all of that.
Yeah, I can see how that could. Like, how do you tell somebody, like, you guys show up at this time? These are your clients. I'm going to give you a review, all that stuff.
Yeah. I don't feel ready for this. School doesn't train you for shit like this, and they probably should. Maybe business school. I didn't go to business school.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe business school.
But I feel like this should be a requirement in all areas of study, but whatever. So I'm moving through that, feeling like I don't know what I'm doing, feeling like...
Do any of us?
Right. Or knowing I don't know what I'm doing and being able to, acknowledge it, figure something out, ask all the questions and move through it. And also like understanding that life is going to be a little bit different now. My business is going to be a little bit different now because I done hired somebody, and that's a lot. People keep asking me like, are you excited? And I'm like, I haven't gotten to excited yet. I know it happened already, but I haven't gotten to excited yet. I'm not there yet. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated.
Well, you'll get there. You'll get there. So. Well, today's topic, since we were supposed to do a freaking
happy episode,
we were supposed to do a couple happy episodes because it seems like every episode something going on, something in the water. Today's episode is about happiness, love, and happiness.
We decided since we said we were going to do a happy episode, we were just going to go straight to happiness. Nothing creative, nothing outside of the box, just happiness.
Yeah, like that Pharrell song.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think are some misconceptions about happiness?
I feel like I hear people say often that they need material things in order to be happy. And I feel like that's such a misconception. That's not to say that certain material things can't add to your happiness or can't enhance your happiness, but I don't think you need material things in order to be happy. And a lot of times I hear people saying like they can't be like, perfect example, people who cannot be happy single, like they need to be in partnership, they need relationship. Or people who feel like, oh, I'm poor, so I'm going to never be happy because I'm never going to have money. And I think that's a misconception. I don't think that that's true. I think there are people who are happy single. I think there are people who are happy and poor. I think it adds to the challenge, but what does this look?
I was going to say, yes, I think there are some happy poor people, and there are some people that just exude happiness. But even those people, like, I know have their their down days, you know? But some people, they just, I don't know. I'm like, damn, man. And then you start questioning them, like, why are you so happy? You know, what did you do? You know, or how did you get there? I don't know. Money, it definitely doesn't. Look, as Prince would say, money can't buy you happiness, but it'll pay for
Right.
the search.
Right.
It'll pay for the search. So I think that maybe you don't need money, but I think your problems are different, you know, just like more money, more problems, that song. Like, it's true. It's like you're going to get more money or whatever, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to be happy, you know,
Right.
like you said. So, but I don't know. I keep seeing this meme in my head right now of this girl. She's like saying, "Oh, rich people always saying that like money doesn't make you happy," and then it's like a meme of her like, "Oh, look at me, I'm crying on my private jet. Oh, look at me, I'm on the yacht crying." But she's like holding a drink and she's like partying, but like slowly tears are like coming out of her eyes, and I was like, I feel her though, because I'm like, fuck that. I'd rather be in those places than in this place. And that's not
Right.
necessarily about money though. I think that's just about luxury. I mean, people like nice things. What the fuck?
Absolutely.
Like that, we can't
Absolutely.
even lie about that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't you don't need them, like clearly. But it can't hurt.
Right. I think happiness is an internal job. Like it is a internal state of being that you I want to say you decide it. I think there are some people who don't get the opportunity to decide in some ways. So maybe it's not completely a decision, but it's still an internal job. It is work that you do internally to get yourself to a place to be in this state of mind, which allows you to be in this state of mind, whether you are, you know, broke or whether you are chilling on a yacht.
Right. No, I feel that. I feel like people, I don't know. I was thinking when you were saying that some people they work to be happy. They just work on it, right? They try to
Yeah.
create scenarios and situations that ultimately bring them peace and bliss. And then I think about that there are plenty of people though that may be chemically imbalanced, you know, and
Right.
they don't even know how to be happy and
Right.
even to recognize that, you know what, maybe this is a problem,
Right.
you know?
That's why I said some people don't get to make the choice. It's not always a choice. But I do think in order to create happiness, it is more of an internal job than it is an external job.
Right. That's true. Yeah. Some
Yeah.
people, I'm like, maybe you should go get therapy. Just thought about it. I'm just thinking, and I'm not saying that, you know, maybe, you
Just
know, it's not just maybe.
put it
Try
out
it
there.
out. Just try it out, you know? I mean, I did it. I know
Yeah.
that I do it, you know, and it took me a while to recognize it. You know, like
Yeah.
yes, like I said before in past episodes, like I did speak to a therapist as a young person, you know, in middle school, but at the same time, I wasn't really I wasn't talking about nothing, you know.
Right.
I was just in there. It wasn't until like adulthood, you know, now being in my 30s where I'm like, I really want to work on myself so that I can be happy, you know?
Hmm.
I think for me, though, if we're saying, okay, am I happy where I am right now? Right?
Hmm.
That is a really hard question. Even though I'm like, that's a really hard question. I wouldn't say that I'm unhappy. I just feel like I'm in a place where I think the way that I look at the world, the way that I view things is I try to stay optimistic, you know, and I try not to let a lot of darkness in, you know,
Hmm.
even though it's around and it's everywhere. I try not to really dwell on those things because like life, I know people always saying life is short, but I don't feel like it is. I mean, obviously we don't know when our time is up, but like to me, I feel like I don't know. My family lives a long time. We talked about that. So
Right.
I feel like as long as I'm fine, I'll be fine. But I don't want to be thinking about something that happened 20 years ago. I want to be able
Right.
to step into the now and be able to control my environment so that I
Mm,
can have that control and only let good things in.
right.
So I just feel like, am I happy right now? It could be better. There's always room for improvement, you know? So I'm kind of musically inclined. I love music. So for me, it's like, I don't know, I view things quite differently than the average person. You know, I feel like everything is a song in a way, you
Mm,
know, it takes you, you know, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? But that song can take you in all kinds of directions, man. But by
mm-hmm.
the end of it, you know, on the down slope, I feel like you feel good, you know, because it's like, man,
Sure.
this was a lot, but this was everything that I thought it was going to be, or everything I wanted it to be.
Right.
And so I think that's kind of how I try to live my life. Like, even though something might not be good right now, I just don't believe it's going to stay that way because I've had too many good things happen to me. And if you're good and you're a good person, like the universe, I feel you'll be
Survive.
good. You'll survive and it will provide.
Mm-hmm. So you never actually said if you are happy right now.
I am. No, I did. I said I am happy, but there's always room for improvement. Like I'm not unhappy. That's what I don't know what how about that? I'm not unhappy and I'm not happy. You
Okay.
know, I kind of, for the most part, live right there in the middle.
Okay.
And then try to not let a lot of the unhappy happen, although I know it'll come.
Sure. Right. That's life.
So I just try to I try to be like in the middle. I try to, you know, so, but I feel like genuinely speaking, though, I am a happy person. But I think you know, just like anybody, you feel like you get in your own way. You get in your own way
Mm-hmm.
of your happiness. You get in your own way most of the time. So I just have to work on that part.
Mm. Get out of your own way. That's a word. That's a whole word.
I mean, it's true. It's so true, though.
Yeah, you're right. I felt it. I felt all of that. I felt it in my spirit. Get out of your own way, Katrina. Okay. No, but I feel you though. I think as you were talking and you were answering this question about whether you're happy now or not, all I heard was my perfectionism. And so when you said, like, I'm not happy, but I'm not unhappy, like I'm somewhere in the middle, I live there, I was like, yeah, I feel like I do too. And what often gets in the way of me being in happiness is that perfectionism. It's that, okay, what's next if there's something good happening? Or that, okay, it's nice, but like there's room for improvement.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that. Like as I was hearing you talk and as I'm hearing it out loud from somebody else's mouth, I'm sitting there like, but no, but things are good right now. Like, am I happy? Yeah, I'm happy. I'm actually truly happy, despite the fact that like there's shit popping off. There's so much stuff going on in my family, in my personal life, in my own like mental and emotional bodies. Like there's so much stuff happening. But when I really sit down and look at it, regardless, like in this moment right now, today, I am happy. Regardless of what happens, regardless of what's happening, like I'm good. And I actually feel really good. And I would identify that I am happy. So I'm naming that out loud and telling that to myself and to my perfectionism who likes to challenge that thought. But no, I am happy. And I don't, although there's room for improvement, I'm happy in this moment. And I think to some degree, that's what happiness is. It's being able to be present in what is in this moment and still find stillness and joy,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of everything else. And I feel like when I really sit and find stillness in this moment, there's so much happiness.
Yeah, I feel that, but I also am like
Here we go.
I don't know. I guess for me, you're right. Like I'm always thinking about what's next. And so I hardly ever give myself credit. And I have friends and people that'll say stuff about me or whatever that's very positive. And sometimes it's hard for me to accept that because I'm like, Like, are they just saying this because they're my friend, or are they saying this because they truly, truly believe it? You know, because when you, like I said, where I live in between happiness, because like I said, it's not that I'm not happy. It's just that I guess I'm ready for my next chapter. And sometimes another chapter will linger, you know? And I guess I'm trying to like tighten up a chapter and close it and get to the next chapter because I feel like I've stood still for a really long time. And
I
while
get
things
that.
were happening, things were happening. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I didn't progress. I'm not saying that my career, it's going well. Um, I'm keeping myself busy. I take care of myself, I do for others. So and I genuinely get to, I don't have the responsibilities of having a family yet. So I get to
Right.
kind of live and kind of, do what I want, I don't have to answer to anyone. I can travel. I can get up and just go at a moment's notice if need be. I can make it happen. So
Right.
I think that's something that makes me very happy. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of have to, like, this is something that I definitely have to work on.
Right.
That's attached, like, happiness for me sometimes is attached to others. And so that's the
Hmm.
codependency part or codependent part of me that I continuously have to work on
Yeah.
because I probably am ecstatic when I am doing or did something for someone or
Right.
somehow some way something really good is happening to someone I care about or I love, like I'm probably super ecstatic, but for me I'm like, okay, all right, Marlena, what's next? You know what I mean? It's like, okay,
Yeah.
you said you wanted a house, right? So what are you doing to get that house?
Right.
I kind of have been, like we said, Black women, we kind of bred that way, right? We're bred to,
Absolutely.
I don't know, some would say no, but they ignorant anyway. But my family were business owners, we worked really hard. So I feel like there's always this added like pressure for me to succeed and whatever that, and obviously it's not succeed. It's what I want, right?
Right. Right.
My definition of succeed means, but it's still that definition. There's still something there, like
Some
a
layers of that. Yeah.
just sitting
Absolutely.
there. And so I think that is really attached to my happiness because I'm like, okay, all right, okay, and it doesn't help on social media that like every 5 minutes, everyone's showing this glamorous like lifestyles that they're living, not everybody, but there's a lot of non-realness happening. And so when you're
Absolutely.
actually living real, you're like, am I doing this wrong? So
Agree
uh
with all of that. And I'm not saying any of that is wrong. It's just as I hear it said out loud by somebody else who obviously I can see a lot of myself in, there's this piece of me that's just like, nah, fuck that. I don't want to live like that.
right.
Obviously, this is how I live on a day to day basis. This perfectionism comes in and it tells me that this is not the time to be happy. You got to move to the next thing. You got to close this chapter. You have to get to
Mhm.
this milestone and all the things. But as I hear somebody else saying it out loud, who I can see myself in, there's this piece of my brain that is just like, fuck all of that. What about right now? Because, and maybe also part of this is the amount of grieving that I've been doing lately. It's like, if something happened to me tomorrow, if all of this shit was taken away tomorrow, if I had to start at square one, that means that I never had a moment of happiness because I was so busy worried about the next thing and the next thing and this thing or whatever. And I don't want to live like that. Like, if I look at this moment right now, not looking at the past, not looking at the future, just in this moment right now, sitting here on this podcast talking to you, I am happy as hell. Like, I'm good now. My all my perfectionism and all the stuff is going to say something different when we get off this call. But I hearing that out loud, everything like there are pieces of my body right now that are like, oh my gosh, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live in a state of like, I'm all right. I'm not happy, but I'm not unhappy. Like, oh, it's okay. We can do better. Like, yeah, we can always do better, and I'm always gonna strive to do better. But I can be happy in whatever this mess is right now too, and I'm claiming that. So I'm claiming it because that's what I want for myself.
Well, that's a really good place to be in. It is. I mean, that's a good place to be in. And I hope everyone can live like that. I do. I just don't know. And I think I wrote something online earlier this week where it's just like I don't, and I kind of did the same thing and said like no, like it could happen to me too. You know, I kind of had that moment of just thinking it like it was something about some meme like just think about, you know, what did it say? It said think about what if it does work out, pretty much like what if it does
Right.
work out, you know, keep that thought process is basically what it is. And you know, I wrote this whole little message like it's just been that's been a real struggle for me.
Yeah.
Is to do that.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm always living in the past or in the future.
Yeah.
I'm never living in the present. Only when I'm dancing is when I'm living in the present. So that's why I tend to try to go dancing a lot because I'm like, okay, like I'm like being carefree. I'm letting loose. I'm just like, I don't care. Like that body movement or whatever. And those and listening to beats and music and just like singing and just being just having fun like that to me that's when I'm like okay I'm happy, you know. I'm super happy, so I try to do that, you know, as much as I can. So
Yeah, I agree with that. Dancing and travel for me. When I am traveling, like regardless of what's going on, there's a whole different level of happiness there for sure.
yeah, I for sure, yeah, travel for me too. And that's one thing I'm like damn man, I don't know how to feel about COVID. I don't know how to feel about anything anymore, but like I really want to take a serious vacation. And, you know, I don't know. I wish that I had it in me to go on a solo vacation, but I don't. Like I don't for me, I just don't like traveling alone.
Sure.
I did that a lot before when I was going to meet somebody or, you know, I'm always on the plane alone all the time. And I'm like, I did that. I've been done that. You know, I kind of want to now travel with someone. So I'm ready for that. But I'll be damned if that person ruins my trip though. I just say that because I be saying some people go on vacation or whatever, and then they end up fighting and shit. And I'm like, well, we could have saved fucking $5,000, and I could have fought with you back at the house if that's the case. Like,
Right.
if we not,
Why you gotta be careful who you travel with?
that's true. If we're not you know, having a couple drinks by somebody's ocean or something, chilling and just like pass the fuck out. If we not doing, you know, the do, if we not buying things and shopping like whatever, like we don't care because it's vacation. You notice when you're on vacation, you like you have to have all the things,
Spend all the money.
all the money. It's just like you just like whatever. I need it.
A whole different life. That's why I'm so happy there.
Like this bottle of lotion. Well, whatever. I need it. Like I need lotion. What am I going to do? I'm not at home. You know, it's like you just don't care. And so if I'm not having those types of moments with somebody on vacation, then like, I don't want it.
Why are we here?
Why are we here? I could have stayed home.
Right. Absolutely.
So that's
travel is a whole other episode.
Yeah.
Listen.
That's a problem. I'm not doing it. And if I do it, if we get into it, I'm be like, you owe me $2,000 or however much, you know?
Right.
Be like, if we split something or whatever, I'll be like, you owe me my half because this was a waste of time.
You ruined my trip.
You ruined my trip. Anyway,
that's hilarious.
That's how I know when I'm unhappy, ladies and gentlemen.
People getting on your damn nerves, ruining your vacation.
Yep. And that's when I go to my famous little line. This some bullshit. I say that all the time, okay? To the point there be some people in my office where I work be saying, "This is some bullshit." They say it to me or whatever, and I know they got that from me, but
Mm,
they really do. Sometimes it do be.
sometimes, yeah, absolutely.
I was gonna say, how do we get to that place? Because that to me is the secret. Is get to that
Oh,
place, like through everything. It doesn't matter. I'm still gonna be happy in spite of.
I think it's just what I said. It's the ability to be present because I, like you said, and like I said, it's the living in the past or living in the future that causes that feeling of I'm not happy in this moment. But it's the ability to be in the present and just experience
Mm-hmm.
whatever that looks like. Because even as you were talking, like I was so presently listening to what you were saying, and everything about it, I was just like, nah, that ain't it. Like I hear it, I feel it, because that's how I live. But I ain't nope, nope, I refuse. And so, but there was something about just listening to you very intently, openly, and really taking in what you were saying that helped me to get to this place of like, if I really look at me right now as I am in this second, am I happy? Yes. But when I think about like future or past, oh, there's all kinds of other shit going on. Hell, when I think about what's going on outside of this room, I might change my response. But in this moment, I am happy. I think some of it is practicing present. And I just want to say for the listeners out there who might have some other things that are hindering their ability to experience happiness, we know that things like mental health and physical health and all the other things are very real. And so practicing presence don't work for everybody, but I think for us
Mm-mm.
in the conversation that we are having in this moment and in the state of minds that we are in right now, being more present, not thinking about the past or the future.
Okay, so let's end this on what give me a day in the life of Katrina
Oh Lord,
where you would be the most happy.
a day in the life of Katrina where I would be the most happy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you did not prepare me for this.
That's when they want to keep you on your toes, girl.
Okay, a day in the life. I'm definitely waking up whenever I feel like it. No alarm clocks, no nothing. I am in a a beautiful space, probably on somebody's vacation next to somebody's beach. And I have the ability to just navigate my day however I see fit. Because to me, happiness is like freedom. It's this
Mm-hmm.
feeling of just being able to just show up in whatever way I want or need. I eat when I'm hungry. I sleep when I'm tired. I work when I feel like it. Like, that's it. And having loved ones around me. Yeah. And really good food. I need some really good food. I can't be happy if I don't have really good food.
That's true. That's really true.
So,
Hmm.
what's a day in the life of Marlena being completely happy?
I guess. Okay, so
I
I
don't
guess
even,
it would be
I can't.
okay. I would sleep, like you said, I'd wake up when I feel like waking up. Maybe I say 10 o'clock. I like waking up at 10 o'clock, whatever. Some people hate on me. They're like, you sleep so late. I'm like, yeah, but I'm a night owl. I be up all night.
Yeah.
So 10 o'clock is like good for me, wake up, get you morning sex is great, somebody's son, some good looking brother next to me. I get up, do something physical. Actually, no, that was my physical thing for the day. So,
Might as well make it the best day.
so I'll probably meditate. Actually, I don't know if I would meditate after that or maybe later on in the day, but sometime of the day I would do meditation. Maybe maybe a night class. But anyway, so after that, like have a great lunch or brunch. I don't necessarily need breakfast. Like breakfast is cool. I like breakfast because I like brunch, but I don't need breakfast like in the morning. Some
Mm.
people like, I gotta have my coffee and I gotta have no, I'm good. I'm good. Just let me like get up, do whatever I want, listen to some music. Definitely, like when I have music on and it's like everywhere, like in the house, in the car, on the street, as I'm walking, anything, like just immersing myself into some music. Have some really good food, probably a nice, very nice dinner. And then I would love to go dancing. Like I always like when I think about people in the 50s and they'd be like, oh, they went for dinner and dancing. I'm like, yeah, that sounds right. Like, you got to work off those carbs you just ate. So I like the dinner and dancing. And then I don't know, maybe get a nightcap somewhere, get into somebody's jacuzzi, and just leisurely just be. Like that's if I got music, even if it's live music, oh my God, even better. That's even a better day. If I went to a concert with some live music, and I could be jazz or, something under the stars outside, I like that kind of stuff. So to me, that would be a really good day. And also another good day would just be vacationing. I've never really got to vacation with my family as a whole. I don't know if I don't know if I have the patience now to do that, but but I always think about that. Like when I have a family, like we're definitely going to do family vacations, just go see things and do stuff and, have memories, create memories. That's a good day for Marlena.
Your happiness was very active. My happiness is like lounging in a hammock next to the beach.
Yeah, no, man. I gotta be
with a chef that's feeding me all day long whenever I get hungry. And like, yeah, like
maybe that's a Sunday. Maybe that's a Sunday happiness.
Oh, I was so happy. Like,
to me, that's a Sunday. Like like I'm turning down. Like I like to be like I want to be gone, man, gone to the point you come home. You're like, oh man, what a day! What didn't we do? We did everything.
See, I don't need to do all of that. I wouldn't mind it. It would be fine for me. But if I'm like imagining my happiness, I ain't doing shit. Like I'm chilling. Hell, we could go. I like being out in nature. So being in nature, preferably by somebody's beach, but like hiking, just being out like at the park, in a garden, all of those things are great. But literally all of mine are like, I'm chilling.
Yeah, no.
I don't need to be active. It would be nice to have people around. I don't even need people there. Like you woke up next to somebody and I was like, I didn't even think about that.
Well, for me, I just feel like because I live alone. So I'm always like, yeah, it's nice to have somebody. But I mean, I'm not saying I don't like my alone time now because I do. But yeah, like I feel like that's a good day. And I don't even say that all those things that I did though had to be with that person. I just said that those things were happening.
You just said there had to be morning sex with the person.
Yes, and night. I mean, if we can fit it in the afternoon too. I mean, what? I don't know.
Did you want to send him away in the meantime?
Like he's got his life too. He's got a life too. Remember what she said in Baby Boys?
I love it.
Mama had to have a life too. Yes. Mama does need a life.
I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing at all. I was just noticing the contrast between your happy day and my happy day. You was doing all the things. You had somebody around. I was like, I'm also waking up, relaxing.
Yeah. No, man. I don't know. I'm an Aries too. So, we got things to do and people to see, So yeah, that's my day in the life of Marlena. Sorry, parents, if you're listening to this, but I like that, I gotta be active. Yeah. And I like to have, I definitely like to have like a day with my grandparents. It's like I said, some family time, but not necessarily on that day. It's probably on a day that I'm, like I said, I'm chilling.
Yep. Hilarious. This next segment is called Roses. Who do you want to give your rose to this week, Marlena?
I'm going to to give my rose to my friend David. My friend David was going through some health problems and it's turning around, and
Mm.
it's like just a couple months ago. And so it's still kind of fresh within our friend group. And yeah, we really just didn't know what was wrong. I felt like the
Mm.
hospital was kind of experimenting on him a little
Mm-hmm.
bit,
Aren't
how
they
they is
always?
sometimes. Right. And I felt like that's what was happening to him. And that was a really like weird place to be, because you're like,
Mm.
okay, I don't want you to go home because I don't want nothing to happen to you. But at the same time, like, okay, what the fuck are y'all doing? Figure it out,
Right.
you know? So it's been a couple weeks since he's been out of the hospital, and things are looking up. So I just wanted to give my rose to him. I know that he and I, we sometimes bicker or whatever. Not because we don't love. We're like brother and sister. We're like those like siblings that just like can't help but like to say something. Like you just
Mm-hmm.
you just bicker, but we do definitely care about each other and we love each other. Like he would never want anything to happen to me, and I would never want anything to
Right.
happen to him. So, shout out to my friend. I'm really happy that things are looking up, and I just hope, like health wise, that this is like a new chapter for him, and
Mm.
he steps into his greatness because he can be better. I'm not saying that, and we all, like I said, we all can improve, including myself.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I just hope that this gets him to the next phase, where he can step
Absolutely.
into being even greater.
Yeah.
So, Katrina, who do you want to give your roses to this weekend or this weekend? Who do you want to give your roses to this week? Damn, that's where
Um,
my brain is. The weekend.
already on the
I'm
weekend.
ready.
Only Thursday. I'm going to give my rose to my therapist today. Shout out to all the therapists, first of all, but to my therapist for carrying me, holding me, listening to me, witnessing me in all the shit. Because it's been some shit. And this is, if I'm being completely transparent, this is the first time I think that I've really stuck it out with a therapist this long. I don't even know how long it's been at this point. It's definitely been over a year, maybe over 2 years. But I have been with therapists for a period of time, and I'll just start feeling like, oh, this ain't working, or I don't really like this, and I don't really show up, or I go on sabbatical, or whatever the case may be. But this is the first time that I really stuck it out with the therapist. We've had our stuff. There have been moments where like I was like, wait a minute, this ain't it. We gotta shift this. This ain't working for me. But she always comes back and is like, okay, let's shift then. What do we need to do? And I really appreciate her for continuing to create that space, because it is hard to find a good, solid therapist out here, especially as a Black woman. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to
So
give
true.
my rose to her for all the ways that she has held me through this time, and the ways that she has really pushed me, even because a lot of it is really pushing me into my own power and my own greatness. So, her, because I'll be going to therapy Thursday morning before we record, and I
Great.
come
That's why.
here.
That's why you're like, ugh.
Hey, listen, let me tell you, okay? Because I done talked about it this morning with my therapist. But she be, yeah, she's showing up. She got me doing all the things. She be pushing me though. From day one, when I first met her, I was like, "Ooh, child, okay, you,
Right. You're like, we just met.
you come at my neck like that?
I was about to say, we just met, okay? Did we just ease into this?
No, she was not easing into nothing. She was
Mm-mm.
immediate. So, but I appreciate her, and I am so thankful to have found her. And I ain't letting her go no time soon.
Good. That's really good. I
Shout
hope
out to
I
the
hope
therapist.
one day to feel that way about a therapist myself. That I'm like, okay, we cool. We cool. And my
Yeah,
therapist right now, we cool, but I don't know if we cool, you know? He's there, but he ain't there. So
Mm-hmm. I've been there. I've been there several times with several different therapists. So I know it's taken me a bit to get to this one, but I am happy to be here. And it is making all the difference for sure.
good. I'm glad. You deserve.
Thank you. Well, that's another episode of Excess Baggage.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Excess Baggage Pod. That's Excess Baggage POD. Be sure to like, subscribe, and review on the podcast app and Spotify.
And remember to pack light and keep it tight.
For show.